Indian Army planning to upgrade the Zorawar light tank engine from 750 horsepower to 1000 horsepower due to less power issues during field trials. Only one Zorawar tank prototype available for field trials, delays causing induction in Indian Army, which are already short of tanks, now again desperately waiting for new one. Zorawar designed for rapid deployments in all terrains in India, especially at Ladakh and Tibet in the harsh Himalaya mountains terrain. Indian Army facing difficulties in rapid action against China at Himalayan steep heights. Indian mechanized and armed divisions looking rapid action guns, which is now again delayed. The tank, named after the 19th century Dogra general Zorawar Singh, referred to by historians as the conqueror of Ladakh and Tibet for his conquests of several kingdoms in the Himalaya mountains. India had taken several programs since 1982 to develop an indigenous light tank to replace aging light tanks of 60s. But the all programs of heavy and light tanks category have been failed. The Indian Army has a history of using light tanks in the mountainous terrains during combat situations. The Stuart and Sherman tanks of the 254th Indian Tank Brigade were used during the Battle of Kohimar in 1944. In Indo-Pakistan War of 1948, the same tanks pushed back Pakistan forces in the Zojila. In 1962 Sino-Indian War, the Army deployed French-origin AMX-13 tanks in the Battle of Gurung Hill near Pangong Tso and also in Bomdila and Dirang in Arunachal Pradesh. Again in the 1971 Indo-Pakistan War, the AMX-13 and Soviet PT-76 tanks were deployed during the Battle of Garapur. However, the Indian Army did not operate any light tank after the AMX-13 and PT-76 was retired from active service by 1989 and subsequently the PT-76 from reserved status in 2009. T-72 tanks are the mainstay of Indian Army since 80s and using more than 1,000 tanks, namely as AJ. This tank is from Russian origin and one of most successful MBTs in the world. When India starts its own MBT program Arjun, Indian Army decide not to invest more on AJ, T-72, but again after failure of Arjun program Indian Army begin modernization of T-72 and also purchase T-90 tanks from Russia. Arjun MBT weight is around 75 tons, almost 30 tons heavier than T-72 and 25 tons heavier than T-90. Arjun tank is one of most heaviest tank in the world, is also wider for Indian Railway and Army standard width of rails and trucks. The Zorawar is an Indian light tank, developed by the Defence Research and Development Organisation, DRDO, and Larsen & Toubro, L&T, is mix of foreign technology. The Zorawar is equipped with a 105mm caliber gun turret procured from John Cockerell of Belgium. The Zorawar tank prototype utilizes a US Cummins VTA903ET760 engine which generates a power output of 760 horsepower, 570 kilowatts. When sanctioned in April 2023, Zorawar was supposed to be powered by an 800 horsepower engine supplied by the German firm MTU, a subsidiary of Rolls-Royce. The prototype of Zorawar light tank is equipped with a RENK America's HMPT 800 transmission, an advanced hydrostatic, mechanical continuously variable transmission also used in the U.S. Army's Armored Multi-Purpose Vehicle, AMPV, program. This light tank presented as, made in India, project but from engine to main gun, transmission, computer, night vision instruments all are imported or manufactured under license. On the 7th of July 2024, the first prototype of the tank was officially unveiled at the Heavy Engineering Complex of Larsen & Toubro. The rollout was done within 19 months of sanctioning the project. By then, the track trials were completed and certain design changes were made as per suggestions. The tank would now go for desert trials with the Army, followed by high-altitude trials in Ladakh. As per the current timeline, the tank will be inducted by 2027. The realization of the first prototype was also revealed to the Parliament by the Minister of State for Defence Sanjay Seth on 26 July 2024. On 6 January 2025, it was reported that the production of second prototype has commenced at L&T's Hazira facility. The project cost that was sanctioned stood at 234.5 crore rupees, 28 million United States dollars. The project cost included the design and development of the tank and realization of one prototype. The project included Larsen & Toubro as the lead systems integrator and several MSMEs. If Indian Army opt engine replacement option, the program again faces delays for at least 2 more years, and in case of any embargo, project can face more delays.